You are Locked On Syracuse, your daily podcast on the Syracuse Orange. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
They are not just throw-ins, let's talk about them. No, these are guys who are going to play this upcoming season. Anwar Sparrow and James Hurd. Let's start off talking about Anwar Sparrow because he's similar to Derek McDonald. Their first seasons with Syracuse were both in 2021. We'll get to it in just a second here, but he's 6'1", 225 pounds. He is a redshirt senior. Anwar Sparrow was someone who originally entered the transfer portal in December, but decided he wanted to ultimately stay with Syracuse. See, players can enter the transfer portal and ultimately return to their respective school. It does happen. And in the case of Anwar Sparrow, that is exactly what happened with him. I don't know necessarily why he decided to enter the portal or why he came back to Syracuse, but I'm happy that he is back with Syracuse. He's definitely someone that the Orange could use for 2025. And again, he's been with the team since 2021, but he has mostly been a depth linebacker. He's appeared in games, but with very few starts. In 2021, plays in 3 games, but he redshirts that season. 2022, plays in 11 games, makes 3 starts. Okay, so there's progression there, making 3 starts in 2022. 2023, plays in all 13 games, but does not make a single start. And in 2024, he plays in 13 games with 1 start. I don't know why Anwar Sparrow decided to enter the portal, but look, him coming back, I think is awesome for him because I look at this season and I say there is a significant opportunity for playing time at linebacker, especially with a head coach like Fran Brown. You know, a head coach like Fran Brown and a defensive coordinator like Elijah Robinson, they're going to play who they believe is going to give them the best chance to win. And if a guy is playing and is not playing well, they're not afraid to make a change. They seem to have a good balance of giving a guy some patience and knowing when they need to make an adjustment. I mean, we saw last season, Justin Barron did not start the year as a linebacker, but he sure finished as a linebacker last year. So with nothing guaranteed and no all-conference starter in place, why can't a guy like Anwar Sparrow finally get significant playing time in 2025? Get more than just 3 starts in a season, which is his career high back in 2022. I do believe that Anwar Sparrow was a starter during the Syracuse spring game, which is good for him. But that was also before Syracuse went out and got Gary Bryant from South Dakota. I do believe that Derek McDonald, I guess, is a quote-unquote safe to be a starter as it could possibly be at the linebacker spot. But Gary Bryant, I'm projecting him to start. If he doesn't start the year and instead it's Anwar Sparrow, I would not be surprised because Anwar Sparrow has been with Syracuse for a very long time and he knows how to play, at least in the ACC. And we'll find out, I guess, in his final season in college, whether or not he has truly taken that next step in development. I'm not saying he's going to come in here and be an all-conference linebacker. In fact, I would be shocked if he was all-conference this upcoming year. But I would love if he could play at a serviceable starting level in 2025. And I feel like that is a reasonable expectation for a guy like Anwar Sparrow. I mean, comment your thoughts in the comment section below. Can Anwar Sparrow be one of the surprise players for Syracuse in 2025? Not a breakout guy, a surprise guy in 2025. Comment in the comment section below. Now let's get to James Hurd, the other player that we mentioned as a depth piece at the linebacker spot. 6'2", 230-pound redshirt sophomore. He started his career at West Virginia in 2023 before deciding to transfer to Syracuse ahead of the 2024 season. He played in 11 games last year, 7 tackles, half tackle for loss. I do not believe he made a single start. And he had a major opportunity a year ago to establish himself as a young, up-and-coming star on Syracuse's roster. If you recall, in week 1, Syracuse was dealt a big blow on the injury front. And that was Marlowe Wax. Suffered that injury against Ohio, ends up missing 5 games last season. Thankfully, he was able to return, and now he's an undrafted free agent in the NFL, and we hope that he can make a roster, right, come the season. But he had a major opportunity. Marlowe Wax is gone. Who's going to step up? Unfortunately for James Hurd, it wasn't him. He did not emerge last season, because if he did, he would have gotten more playing time than he actually could have. But I'm not going to sit here and write off James Hurd and say that he stinks, he's bad, blah, 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 blah. That's not what I'm doing. It's just kind of the story of him since he has gotten to Syracuse. But the good news for James Hurd is that we can kind of talk about it a little bit in the next segment as a breakout candidate. He's entering year 3 in college. He's going to be a redshirt sophomore, so he's probably going to get an expanded role, whether we like it or not, for this upcoming year. Why not him? Why can't he break out? He's entering his 3rd year in college. Now he's a little bit more familiar being here with Syracuse already for a full season and over the course of a spring again. Can James Hurd break out for Syracuse in 2025?